Aw, it's so cute. Never mind. So this is actually more of a demo than a full game, with the rest to be released later on this year. And to be honest, I really can't wait for it to come out. You can tell there's a real passion for the world and story being created here, and it's awesome to see small developers pull together something so phenomenal. You can easily complete this demo in about 45 minutes or so, but you're not going to want to. There's so much atmosphere to soak in, and every little nook and cranny of this rainy city street is filled with extra lore and pieces of information that help you put together the background of the greater narrative. That's something I especially appreciate about this game. Very little is told flat out across the main story, and if you really want to know what's going on in the grand scheme of things, you'll have to do some digging, which is highly appropriate considering the player character, Howard, is a private eye. The game opens up in his little apartment, and you're immediately flooded with information solely based on the environment. It feels like you've been tagging along with this guy for years, even though you've only just been introduced. From here, you can poke around the apartment for a bit and learn some more about this guy and what his life is like before a client drops in and asks you to find proof of her husband's affair. I do enjoy the conversation systems in this game. Like a lot of games, it will largely end up looping back to the same result regardless of what you choose, but it's done so artfully that it doesn't feel that way. I played through 3 times just to test the conversations, and there really is a large number of responses you can give and receive, even if they do end up going the same way in the end, more or less. So after this initial meeting, you finally step out into the rainy street and you're pretty much free to look around as you see fit. The detective aspect of this game is really wonderful. For example, my first order of business is to track down my client's husband. After asking around a bit, I discover that he's been hanging out at the local club. Through this investigation, I not only learn information about the case and those involved, but I also learn a little bit more about the main character and the world they live in. I learned that cats, dogs, and primates tend to be upper-class elites, while other animals around town, like the raccoons, otters, beavers, and rabbits, are looked down on as more second class. I learned that Howard is having some money troubles and has something of an overbearing mother. I learned that sometimes you have to press the interact button 5 or 6 times before something actually happens. To be perfectly honest, that is my one and only complaint about this game so far, so I'm gonna let it sit there for a second and marinate. Alright, that's enough. I'm not going to give away any more about the plot since, like I said, this is just a short demo and it does revolve around solving a mystery, so giving away anything else would be unfair. Like I said before, I love the detective aspect of this game, and there's a lot to unpack in that sentence. You see, even though I love mystery books, movies, and TV shows, I don't find games centered around solving a mystery to be particularly engaging. The reason is that it usually feels more like you're just piloting around someone else while they solve the mystery, and you're just there for the ride. This game isn't like that, and the way it manages to avoid this issue is pretty ingenious, and that's by not trying to avoid it. Instead, it distracts the information gathering, puzzle solving side of your brain by barely teasing out information about everything surrounding the mystery and allowing you and Howard to solve the mystery itself in tandem. I could play through this 40-minute demo over and over and not know that it takes place in a nation at war, or that the snacks vendor up the street is a bit of a racist, or that the birds are considered to be a subhuman class. This is all stuff you have to put together on your own from information you gather through conversation or newspaper clippings or hidden in subtext. Everything is so well written and characterized, and it really feels like a living, breathing world with a history and a culture to be explored and immersed in. Again, this is just a demo, but from everything I've seen, I cannot wait for the full game to be released later on this year. I actually find myself having to choose my words really carefully because there's so much about this game that I don't want to spoil for anyone looking to experience it for themselves. All in all, even though I've only gotten to experience a small corner of what I assume will be the finished game, I just adore everything about it. I typically think of myself as a bit of a cynic when it comes to reviewing things, movies, games, etc., and I'm just really struggling to think of any negative criticisms towards this project. The art style is phenomenal, the characterization is wonderful, everything feels so three-dimensional and fleshed out and planned. I feel like if I had a history book about this world, I could just dive into it and read for hours and hours. Every time I pulled a newspaper out of a garbage can and started reading it, I found myself disappointed that there wasn't more. It's not a game that strives to be revolutionary in its mechanics or change the face of gaming as we know it. It's just a game that tries to tell a really good story. And more importantly, bring us some really great characters. Characters who struggle, who are relatable, who have something about them that just clicks with you. And it doesn't even matter who it is. Even characters that you only talk to for one or two lines and their only real purpose is to point you to the next character to talk to have these great character moments. It just makes me feel like everyone is real. They all have a history, they all have a story to tell. They all kind of want nothing to do with you. And it works so well. As much as we like to talk about graphical improvements and revolutionary gameplay mechanics, this is what the gaming industry needs more of. Excellent storytellers telling excellent stories. And that's what this is. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time. Hey guys, sorry for the short review this week, and I also apologize that it came out a little bit late. I am working on, something that's a little bit bigger than what I usually do. It's shaping up to be kind of a long review, and it's taking a lot of work to put together. And no, it's not Cyberpunk. I did actually try to review that, and I think it actually bricked my PlayStation. Because after I downloaded it, I played for about a week, and now my PlayStation will not actually start. So it's going to be a little while before I can review any games on that. That said, I am working on something that's a little bit of a big project and kind of a departure from what I've done so far. It's very different from what I typically do as far as what I've established on this channel thus far. So yeah, keep an eye open for that. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and share to your friends. I find that's actually the biggest thing for me right now is just getting people to even see, these videos that I put out. So, I do appreciate all the support that I have received, but if you wouldn't mind just telling your friends to come by and take a look at the channel, that would be amazing. But yeah, take care and I will see y'all soon. Thank you so much.